Ja, really.
Yeah.
Miami. Well, if you think this...
Somebody find me.
We need the comms up now. Come on.
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, I'm Dan Forester.
I got imagery up of your team. We're gonna have to clean it.
Clean it?
Eradicate every living thing. I got one problem, Dan, and I'm gonna in a lab by your local. And since you have experience, Dan,
Is this? Someone on point. You guys hustle up. Romeo, command, we have multiple KI.
my hope. Everybody else was ordered to evacuate.
Could really use your help.
And you try to save your...
Romeo, command, we're...
Dan, you should.
Is that one of them?
Man, we found your team.
All right, come back. So you need to move.
You got that?
I got it.
This office right?
I need all the biological.
On me, lab 2. It's moving. What are we looking at?
Got him.
I want you to...
Nothing I can do about it. You need your stairwell.
Sounds like we're copying.
You're on mission now. I have to protect. We're getting in the chopper. Want my chopper on the pad, ready to fly.
Hey, brink!
Protect the jump link. Go, 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 keep going. Straight up.
Advise, we've got spikes.
We're almost there.
What is it?
It's thanks to you. How you were when I was a kid. This is how
You can't.
I'm going to make it. Make sure this never happens.
Good vantage point if we can get to the...
We'll be looking for an ice cube.
Feel that?
Something. Oh, cow, that. Anything... In 30 years.
Go back with photographs.
And they can talk about it till we're all dead.
Maybe we get the world governments involved.
Neither does Muri. Second.
What are we gonna do?
Guys, it cannot leave this.
Looks like we found our cockpit. Spikes.
I want to land here. This is a crash site.
They're cargo.
Who's to say Earth was their target? Let's go.
Get that C4 in case one of us gets a
Souvenir.
at this.
No one's hiding.
Uh-oh.
I need you! Dad! Light him up! Fire! Blow the ship!
You all right?
One got away, though. We better go get her.
No, you're gonna be a liability out there. I'm good at it.
Get him to the left.
stuck her, Dad! No! No, she ain't now.
Saw everything.
Tell it sooner.
Top government sources are saying that
My actions were swift and decisive. And you know what?
You found them?
Chickpea? I want a future that now I'm never gonna leave her. There it turns out.
Hey guys, today we're diving headfirst into the chaotic, time-traveling, alien-blasting world of the Tomorrow War, a film that asks, what if your midlife crisis involved saving the entire planet? 30 years from now? We follow Dan Forester, a former Green Beret turned high school science teacher who's just trying to get a better job, when suddenly, his quiet life gets a cosmic kick in the pants. Imagine watching a soccer match, totally zoned out, when suddenly soldiers from the future, looking suitably frazzled and desperate, crash the party. Talk about a buzzkill for the global sports fan. Humanity is apparently losing a war, and surprise, surprise, they need our help. If you like this sneak peek, hit the like button and subscribe. It's the best way to support the channel and let me know you want more. So, the year is 2022, and the global consciousness is collectively thinking, is this a prank? But nope, these aren't cosplayers. These are battle-hardened soldiers from 2051, and their message is chillingly clear. 30 years from now, humanity is getting absolutely pummeled by some truly gnarly aliens. The sound of their boots hitting the grass, the stark contrast of their futuristic gear against the pristine stadium, it's an immediate, jarring shift in reality. They're here to draft us, the past generation, to fight for a future that technically hasn't even happened for us yet. Talk about a commitment issue. The implication is stark. If we don't fight, there won't be a future for any of us. The global reaction, understandably, ranges from utter disbelief to outright panic. It's a desperate plea, delivered with the urgency of a ticking clock, and it sets the stage for a recruitment drive like no other. Naturally, the world governments react with, well, varying degrees of competence. There's plenty of hand-wringing and political posturing, but ultimately, the future's plea is too dire to ignore. The news channels are buzzing, the public is terrified, and suddenly, a global draft is enacted. The rules are simple, yet terrifyingly complex. Anyone who's not already dead in 2051 is eligible to be jumped into the future. It's a literal lottery of life and death, with the stakes being, you know, everything. The visual of people lining up, getting their jump bracelets, is a somber one, the metallic clink of the device a grim reminder of their impending journey. Dan, ever the responsible dad, tries to find a way out, to protect his family. He's got that determined glint in his eye, the kind that says, I will move heaven and earth for my kid. Unfortunately, heaven and earth might just be moving him to a future war zone. The sense of dread is palpable as society grapples with this unprecedented demand from the future. Dan, being the pragmatic type, tries to game the system. He knows his military background makes him a prime candidate, so he attempts to fail his way into a non-combat role. Picture this, a former Green Beret deliberately flubbing a physical, missing targets with the exaggerated grace of a toddler trying to swat a fly. The sound of his shots whizzing wide, the disappointed sighs of the instructors, it's almost comical. He's trying to avoid the front lines, hoping to land a cushy research gig instead. But fate, or perhaps a meticulously maintained future database, has other plans. Despite his best efforts to be utterly useless, the system flags him. The digital ding of his draft notice is a jarring sound, a stark contrast to his manufactured incompetence. He's informed with a deadpan expression that his death in the future makes him uniquely qualified for a one-way trip to a very bad day. Irony, thy name is time travel. The moment of truth arrives, delivered with all the warmth of a tax audit. A stern-faced officer, probably used to delivering bad news, hands Dan his official draft papers. The rustle of the paper, the stark ink on the form, it's a physical manifestation of his impending doom. His wife, Emmy, and daughter, Maury, are understandably devastated. The quiet despair in the room is deafening, punctuated only by the soft, choked sobs of his family. It's a moment designed to rip at your heartstrings, showcasing the emotional toll this future war is taking on ordinary families. Dan tries to reassure them, to be the strong protector, but even his stoicism can't mask the fear in his eyes. He knows what he's signing up for is far beyond anything he's ever faced. It's not just a war. It's a temporal jump into the unknown, a one-way ticket to a 30-year head start on an alien invasion. What a fun family outing! The goodbye scene is precisely what you'd expect from a movie where dads are sent to fight aliens in the future. It's all tearful hugs, whispered promises, and the quiet understanding that this might be the last time they see each other. The weight of Maury's tiny arms around his neck, the soft brush of her hair against his cheek, it's designed to hit you right in the feels. Dan's heart is clearly being ripped in two, but he plasters on a brave face, trying to instill courage in his daughter even as his own resolve wavers. The echoing footsteps in the cold, sterile processing center, the impersonal commands of the officers, all serve to amplify the profound isolation of his situation. He's leaving behind everything he loves, venturing into a future he can barely comprehend, for a war he never asked to be a part of. It's a truly gut-wrenching moment, punctuated by the metallic click of the security doors closing behind him. Okay, so training is a strong word for what these recruits get. It's more like a here's a gun, good luck, crash course. There's a brief, frantic session on futuristic weaponry, a laser rifle, because of course, and some truly baffling instructions about how the jump link works. The sound of the weapon's energy pulses, the whirring of the time travel device, it all adds to the disorientation. Then it's jump time. They're hooked up to this massive, glowing contraption, and with a guttural roar, they're hurled through the temporal vortex. The visual of their bodies distorting, the agonizing screams of some recruits, it's not exactly a pleasant ride. Dan lands, disoriented and puking, smack dab in the middle of a war zone. The sudden shift from sterile training room to smoking rubble is absolute sensory overload. The deafening cacophony of explosions, the stench of burning debris, the screams of the wounded. Welcome to Miami, 2051. Hope you brought your sunscreen and your don't die pants. They're literally dropped from the sky, mid-air, into a flaming ruin that used to be Miami. Talk about a warm welcome. Dan finds himself dangling precariously from a high rise, the wind whizzing past his ears, the sound of distant explosions rattling his bones. The sheer scale of destruction is overwhelming. Buildings torn asunder, smoke billowing into a sickly orange sky. His unit, led by a no-nonsense sergeant, is immediately under fire. The first glimpse of the white spikes is utterly terrifying. These things are fast, agile, and armed with razor-sharp claws and a venomous spike attack. The guttural screeches of the aliens, the frantic reports over the comms, the frantic blasts of their laser rifles, it's pure, unadulterated chaos. Casualties are instant and brutal. It becomes chillingly clear that these creatures aren't just intelligent. They're predators, perfectly evolved for slaughter. It's not a fair fight. It's a desperate struggle for survival. And Dan thought teaching high school science was stressful. Their mission? Retrieve some scientists from a research lab that's about to be pulverized by an airstrike. Sounds simple enough, right? Wrong. The lab is a maze of shattered glass, sparking wires, and the eerie silence that often precedes another white spike ambush. The metallic crunch of their boots on debris, the distant growls of unseen enemies, it all ratchets up the tension. Dan, displaying his old military instincts, takes charge, guiding the remaining squad members through the treacherous ruins. The visual of the dimly lit corridors, lit only by flickering emergency lights, creates a pervasive sense of dread. Every shadow seems to hold a monstrous threat. It's a race against time, with the constant threat of aliens or their own military's bombs turning them into collateral damage. The pressure is immense, a stark reminder that in this future, there are no easy wins, just different ways to potentially die deep within the crumbling lab. Dan finally reaches the scientists, or rather, the colonel in charge. And then, bam! Plot twist! She takes off her helmet, and it's none other than his adult daughter, Maury. The quiet gasp from Dan, the stunned look on his face. It's a moment of pure, emotional whiplash. The sound of his own shaky breath is almost audible. He's staring at a version of his daughter he never knew, a hardened, brilliant military scientist, and it's a powerful gut punch. She's the same determined, intelligent girl he knows, but forged in the fires of war. This is a future where he died, which, explains why he got drafted. Because apparently, the time-traveling draft system has a twisted sense of humor. The emotional weight of this revelation is immense, adding a deeply personal stakes to an already apocalyptic war. It's not just humanity on the line now. It's his daughter's future, a future he's now directly responsible for shaping. Maury, now revealed as the ingenious mind behind humanity's last hope, explains her work. She's been studying a captured female white spike, trying to synthesize a toxin that will wipe out the alien threat. The alien, a terrifying blend of insect and beast, writhes in its containment, its guttural growls and hisses echoing through the lab. Maury, with a calm, almost detached precision, details their biology, their strengths, and crucially, their weaknesses. The clink of beakers, the hum of scientific equipment, create a stark juxtaposition to the brutal reality outside. Dan, now with a renewed sense of purpose, volunteers to capture a male white spike. Because what's a little alien kidnapping between father and daughter? He's no longer just fighting for humanity. He's fighting for her future, for the chance to undo his own death and give her a life free from this nightmare. The stakes just got a whole lot higher, and a lot more personal time for some alien wrangling. Dan, accompanied by a small team, ventures into the ruined city to snag a male white spike. The mission is fraught with peril, with the constant threat of ambush. The metallic scrape of their gear against the rubble, the hushed whispers, build an unbearable tension. Dan orchestrates a classic bait and trap maneuver, drawing out a male spike with a diversion. The creature's frantic screeches as it thrashes against the trap, the metallic clang of the cage snapping shut, are truly bone-chilling. It's a raw, visceral struggle, a test of pure grit and cunning. They secure the beast, but not without a few close calls and the unfortunate loss of some squad members. The sound of their laser fire cutting through the night, the aliens' enraged roars, all highlight the brutal reality of their situation. This is no stroll in the park. It's a dangerous game of cat and mouse, with humanity playing the mouse. With the male spike secured, Maury and her team race against the clock to synthesize the toxin. The lab hums with frantic energy, the soft click of keyboards and the whirring of machines, punctuated by Maury's urgent commands. But just as they're on the verge of success, the White Spikes launch a massive assault on the facility. The building shudders under the impact of alien forces, the loud crashes and roars echoing through the corridors. Defenses crumble, alarms blare, and the lab transforms into a desperate battleground. The laser fire, the guttural screeches of the aliens, the frantic shouts of the soldiers. It's a cacophony of war. Mori, despite the chaos, manages to inject the precious toxin into the female Spike. Just then, a devastating explosion rocks the building, injuring Mori and forcing a hasty retreat. It's a brutal setback, a crushing blow to their hopes, but they manage to escape with a vial of the synthesized toxin. Few talk about cutting it close, maybe a little too close, amidst the deafening roar of explosions and the splintering of concrete. Dan scrambles to get Mori out of the collapsing facility. He hoists his injured daughter, her weight a testament to her human vulnerability, and dashes through the debris-strewn corridors. The ground shakes, dust chokes the air, and every step feels like a gamble. The sound of crumbling infrastructure, the frantic warnings over their comms, create a terrifying symphony of destruction. It's a desperate race against time, with the walls literally closing in around them. He protects her with his own body, shielding her from falling rubble and stray alien attacks. His determined grunts of effort, Mori's pained gasps, underscore the urgency of their escape. They barely make it out, the facility detonating in a massive fireball behind them, leaving behind a smoking crater and a bittersweet victory of survival. Just another Tuesday in the future, apparently with the lab destroyed, the grand plan to deploy the toxin via the future's infrastructure goes up in smoke, literally. It's a crushing blow, leaving them with just a single vial and a whole lot of despair. Dan and the remaining survivors, including the gruff but loyal Dorian, regroup on a crumbling rooftop. The wind whips through their tattered clothes, carrying the stench of war. The sound of distant alien screeches serves as a grim reminder of their failure. They activate their jump devices, a last-ditch effort to bring the toxin back to the past, to let the future generation of scientists, i.e., them, finish the job. The agonizing whine of the temporal rift opening, the desperate goodbyes, it's a moment heavy with uncertainty. Dan has to leave Mori behind, a decision that visibly tears him apart. But one she insists upon, he jumps, hurtling through the quantum foam, praying he hasn't just abandoned his daughter to a doomed future. Talk about a rough commute back in 2022. Dan is physically and emotionally battered, still reeling from the horrors of the future and the revelation about Mori. He's trying to process everything, including the fact that he's supposed to die in 30 years. Talk about a spoiler. It's during this period of existential angst that Dorian, who also made it back, drops a bombshell. He's been doing some digging, some serious conspiracy theory that turns out to be shockingly true kind of digging. Dorian reveals that the White Spikes didn't just appear in 2051. They've been here all along, lying dormant. The sound of Dorian's hushed, urgent voice, the gravitas of his claims, immediately grabs Dan's attention. He posits that the creatures arrived thousands of years ago, crashed on Earth, and humanity simply stumbled upon them later. The clink of their coffee cups, the nervous energy in the air, sets a new, chilling mystery in motion. The entire premise of the war just got a major rewrite, and Dan's got a fresh dose of existential dread to deal with. Armed with Dorian's new theory and a serious case of what the actual heck. Dan realizes the future Mori gave him a clue. He rounds up a small, ragtag team including his estranged father, James, a wonderfully eccentric and surprisingly competent survivalist, and some other time jump veterans. Their destination, a remote, icy outpost in the Arctic, because where else would you hide an ancient alien invasion force? The biting wind, the crunch of snow under their boots, the absolute isolation of the landscape. It's a stark, desolate setting. They discover a massive alien ship, half buried in the ice, a monumental structure that shouldn't exist. The sheer scale of it, the metallic sheen against the pristine white, is breathtakingly ominous. It's a jaw-dropping moment, where the true scope of the alien threat finally becomes horrifyingly clear. This isn't just a future war. It's an ancient mystery waiting to unleash hell. The cold, crisp air seems to hold its breath. Breaching the ship is no easy feat, but once inside, they're met with a truly alien sight. The interior is vast, cavernous, dimly lit by an unsettling bioluminescent glow. The sound of their footsteps echo eerily in the immense space, punctuated by the soft drip of melting ice. And then they see them, thousands upon thousands of dormant white spikes, frozen in some kind of hibernation, nestled within hive-like structures. The sheer number is enough to make your blood run cold. These aren't just a few rogue aliens. This is an entire army, just waiting to wake up. The chilling realization hits. This isn't a warship. It's a transport, a biological weapon delivery system, piloted by an unseen hand. The implication is staggering. The white spikes aren't invaders in the traditional sense. They're engineered, weaponized creatures brought here by someone or something else. The metallic tang of the alien air, the oppressive silence of the dormant army, creates an atmosphere of profound dread. As they venture deeper, they discover the ship's control center, and within it, the pilot's seat. What they find there isn't a white spike, but a completely different alien species, long dead, confirming Dorian's theory. This ship wasn't flown by the spikes, it was carrying them. The soft hiss of escaping gases from ancient machinery, the unsettling stillness of the pilot's desiccated body, all paint a grim picture. It's a powerful moment of discovery, confirming that humanity isn't just fighting a war. They're fighting a weapon unleashed by an unknown, presumably long gone, force. The white spikes are simply the biological equivalent of a really nasty virus. This revelation shifts the entire narrative, adding another layer of existential terror to the mix. It's not just humanity versus aliens. It's humanity versus ancient, weaponized bioweapons. Just when you thought things couldn't get any weirder, they absolutely do. Of course, because things can never be easy, they accidentally wake one up. Or maybe it was just a grumpy alien hitting its snooze button. Whatever the cause, a single white spike begins to stir, its limbs twitching, its guttural growls gradually intensifying. The sound is like nails on a cosmic chalkboard. This immediately triggers a chain reaction, and suddenly, thousands of these things are roaring to life. The whole ship begins to vibrate with the thrumming of awakened creatures, the metallic clicking of their claws, the terrifying symphony of a mass awakening. It's a terrifying crescendo of sound and movement as the dormant army prepares to unleash its fury. The team knows they've just hit the oh crap button on a planetary scale. It's a moment of pure, unadulterated panic as the sheer scale of the threat, now fully awake, becomes horrifyingly real. This is not good, folks. Not good at all. And so, the final, desperate battle begins, deep within the belly of the alien beast. It's a frantic, close-quarters firefight, with Dan and his meager team against an entire awakening army of white spikes. The crackle of laser fire, the whoosh of alien spikes, the terrifying screeches and roars of the creatures, it's a deafening, visceral onslaught. They're outnumbered, outmaneuvered, but driven by the knowledge that the fate of the world rests on their shoulders. Dan, with his father by his side, fights with a primal ferocity, his every move calculated to inflict maximum damage. The visuals of bodies flying, of explosions rocking the alien structure, are relentless and brutal. They're trying to get to the Queen, the central nexus of the white spike hive mind, to deliver the toxin and end this nightmare once and for all. It's pure, adrenaline-fueled chaos, a frantic ballet of death and determination. No time for tea and crumpets, just pure, unadulterated alien slaying fighting their way through a sea of razor-sharp claws and venomous spikes. Dan and his team finally reach the Queen's chamber. And let me tell you, she's not just big, she's massive. The sheer scale of the creature, its monstrous form filling the cavernous space, is awe-inspiring and terrifying. The air crackles with her presence, a low, guttural thrum that vibrates through the entire ship. She's the ultimate white spike, the brain behind the operation and the source of their terrifying strength. Her powerful roars reverberate, shaking the very foundations of the alien vessel. This is it, the final boss battle, the culmination of all their efforts. The team, battered and bruised, but still fiercely determined, prepares for the final push, the ultimate gamble to save humanity. It's a visually stunning, heart-stopping moment, perfectly encapsulating the epic scale of their struggle. Game on, Alien Queen. In a moment of selfless heroism, Dorian, already severely wounded, realizes they need a distraction, a way to thin the herd and buy Dan precious seconds. With a grim determination, he activates explosives, sacrificing himself to blow a massive hole in the ship, taking out a huge chunk of the alien swarm. The deafening explosion, the flash of bright light, the sudden rush of air, it's a truly heroic and heartbreaking moment. The silence that follows the blast, however brief, is heavier than any noise. It's a poignant reminder of the cost of this war, the lives given for a chance at survival. His sacrifice clears a path for Dan, a narrow window of opportunity to reach the Queen. It's the kind of selfless act that defines true courage, solidifying Dorian's place as a true hero, even if his jokes were only sometimes funny. Rest in peace, buddy. You earned it. With Dorian's sacrifice fresh in his mind, Dan pushes through the remaining alien resistance, a singular focus in his eyes. He's driven by the memory of Mori, by the weight of humanity's future. He scrambles, dodges, and fights with everything he has, closing the distance to the monstrous Queen. The guttural roars of the Queen, the frantic clicks of her minions, the thrumming of her alien heartbeat. It's a symphony of impending doom. With a final, desperate surge, Dan plunges the syringe, containing Mori's precious toxin, deep into the Queen's vulnerable flesh. The loud squelch of the needle piercing her skin, the sickening gurgle that escapes the Queen's throat, signal the turning point. It's a moment of visceral triumph, a desperate prayer answered. The Queen thrashes violently, her roars turning into pained, dying screeches. The battle is far from over, but the tide has definitively turned. The Queen's death is a truly cinematic event. After Dan delivers the goods, she convulses, shudders, and lets out a final, agonizing shriek that seems to tear through the very fabric of the ship. The sound is utterly piercing, an alien death knell. Her colossal body, once a terrifying symbol of dominance, collapses with a ground-shaking thud, sending tremors throughout the vessel. And then, the most satisfying part, as the Queen dies, her entire hive, every single white spike connected to her, follows suit. They cease their attack, twitch, and drop lifelessly to the ground, their alien bodies going limp. The sudden, profound silence after the cacophony of battle is almost overwhelming. It's a silence that speaks volumes, confirming their victory, a moment of pure, unadulterated relief. The future is saved, the threat eliminated, and all because a science teacher decided to step up. Who knew a biology lesson could be so epic? Mission accomplished! With the white spike threat neutralized, Dan and his father managed to make it out of the crumbling alien ship and back to their own time. The quiet relief in the air as they emerge from the temporal jump is palpable. He returns home to his wife Emmy and young daughter Mori, who are oblivious to the cosmic horrors he just prevented. The heartfelt hugs, the whispered reassurances, the quiet tears of relief. It's a deeply emotional reunion. The world is safe, their future secured, and all because a small group of determined individuals went against the odds and against time itself. It's a powerful moment of emotional catharsis, the kind that makes you want to hug your own family just a little tighter. The faint echoes of battle are gone, replaced by the comforting sounds of his own home. He saved not just the world, but his family's world. The movie ends with Dan and his estranged father, James, sharing a quiet, contemplative moment. The tension that had defined their relationship for so long has melted away, replaced by a newfound understanding and respect. The soft crackle of a fire, the gentle sounds of the night, create an intimate atmosphere for their heartfelt conversation. Dan finally has a chance to tell his father about the future, about the version of Maury he met, and about the man he became. It's a powerful scene about generational healing, about finding common ground through shared, albeit extraordinary, experiences. The weight of the world has been lifted, and in its place, a deeper familial bond has formed. It's a thoughtful, reflective ending that emphasizes the human element amidst the alien spectacle, reminding us that even after saving the world, sometimes the most important battles are fought right here at home, in the quiet moments of connection. The echoes of their conversation linger, warm and meaningful. So, as we wrap up this epic journey through time and alien warfare, it's clear that the Tomorrow War delivers on its promise of thrilling action and genuine heart. It reminds us that ordinary people, when faced with extraordinary circumstances, can achieve the impossible. Dan Forester's journey, from a struggling teacher to a reluctant savior, highlights the incredible resilience of the human spirit. It's a story that celebrates family, sacrifice, and the unwavering hope that even in the darkest of times, there's always a chance to change our destiny. It leaves you with a profound sense of what it means to fight for a future, not just for yourself, but for generations yet to come. It's a testament to the idea that our present actions shape tomorrow in ways we can scarcely imagine, and that love can truly conquer all, even giant, spiky aliens. What a ride!